what is up? Welcome back to the Culture and Cannabis podcast. I am one of your hosts, Full-Time Tony, here with the one and only JC Coates and a gift.
And a gift. What's up, Tony? It's holiday season.
Yeah, shouts out.
Rick got us a beautiful gift here from his beautiful wife. Right?
Yeah,
it's
got some candy. I've been
vibes,
popped out. I opened up some of the gummies.
Oh, you got the gummies.
I opened the reindeer gummies, and honestly, I can't remember what the blue guy is called. He's like a snowman almost. I don't know what it's not. He's not the snowman. There's a snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the actual movie, but there's a big blue guy.
The abominable snowman.
Yeah, Frosty. Is that his name?
It could be Frosty. Maybe not. It could be the abominable.
The
abominable snowman, right?
Or like Iceman. I don't know. It's okay. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're here to talk about. That we're at the Culture and Cannabis podcast. We're talking about culture and weed.
Yeah, we are. But I mean, by the way, the abominable snowman could possibly be your spirit animal, but we can move on.
Yeah, I will come back to the abominable snowman. I'll next week. I'll come with an update.
And Tony's spirit animals, because there's a list of them.
There's a lot of them, honestly. I have a lot of spirit animals.
Let's talk about some weed, though.
Next podcast, we're gonna talk about all my spirit animals. But yeah, we have a great guest today, JC. Who we got?
We do. A wonderful gentleman that we've kind of got connected through Instagram. Haven't had the chance to meet him in person. Had the chance to try their products though, right? Yeah. And let me tell you about the products. One of the products, that is, they have a bunch of them, but the gummies. We'll talk about it. But listen, before we do, I got to tell you, because when the gummies are so good. The joy, my beautiful wife at home, she, when things are really good and tasty, like I just get to taste it one time and then it just disappears. She hides the good stuff, right?
She loves to space them out. You know?
So
she doesn't live in the belief of the now. She lives in the belief of sparsing it out for the future.
For the later. But listen, we have the creator of that product, Josh Wheat, in the building from Robot Pharmer, here from Oklahoma. What's up, brother? How are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
There we are.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. Listen, tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you got going on, just really quickly.
Yeah, so we're Robot Pharmer. We're a single source cannabis culture company. Everything's grown by us, processed by us, and then we have our own dispensaries as well. But wholesale is kind of our wheelhouse. Robot Pharmer was started as a kind of a brand, as an ambassador that people could kind of relate around, instead of using a 420 pot leaf or the 420 sign, which we do, but that wasn't kind of the main body of my work. And I wanted to make something that people could kind of understand and destigmatize cannabis.
Nice. And that's the Robot Pharmer. it's a sick logo, right? Exactly. And the branding is amazing.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Instagram, dude. You have so much crazy art. Like, it's a mixture of like super dope art, lots of cannabis, concentrates, gummies, but like the art is just sick. Like, are these NFTs now? Like, is that what the deal is? Are they all NFTs now?
So those are not NFTs. That's something we are working towards, and that's something for 2022. We're definitely going to have a release party pretty soon. And we're definitely working on some NFTs. That's in the wheelhouse.
Dope. I just bought my
first. Right now,
I just bought my first NFT today.
Oh man,
I'm gonna be the first person to pick up a Robot Pharmer NFT.
Hell yeah! I'll give you guys a little sneak peek on this podcast. We're gonna do a vinyl toy drop, and with one of our sick robot arts. It's gonna be a full size robot, and the NFT is gonna be included in the box.
Oh,
so we'll have a chance to get an NFT with the vinyl drop. So I'll give you a little inside baseball. I shouldn't be saying that, but that is where we're at right now.
So dope.
I love it. This might be a side tangent, but I got to bring it up because when we were brought home your gummies, we have teenagers, and they know that we work in the industry, and they see some of the products, and it was spelled, the spelling is spelled PHARMER for farmer, right? The PH for the
correct.
And see, my son's name is Foster, and we named him with a PH, right? And he always wondered, it's like, Dad, why did you name me with the PH, right? And I was like, look, dude, it's a cool thing, bro. It's a cultural thing, man. So I think that's pretty good.
Oh, that's such a heartfelt story.
So
about the Robot Pharmer brand.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, all right. Vertically integrated in Oklahoma. Did you start in Oklahoma? Where did the Robot Pharmer brand start, and how did it expand to Oklahoma?
Sure, that's a great question. So the brand started in Seattle. I was up there. My brother and his wife lived up there. I moved up there in the Northwest, and I wanted to create something, like I was saying earlier, that could destigmatize weed, I could capture some of the scenes going on in the industry that I was seeing in the medical industry in Seattle, and kind of relay that through artwork themes, through art themes and kind of high end art. So I met up with the designer from the West Coast. His name is John, and we worked together for about 3 years putting these pieces together. And that's how the art brand started. I started doing like Seattle Hemp Fest and a lot of the events up there, and just trying to get the brand out there, making custom dab tools and, you know, custom stickers and like bamboo shirts at that time. That's kind of where we're at. Posters, it's about the extent of it. I've been in Seattle for about 7 years, and then kind of tired of it, man. It just kind of got played out. I was ready for another change. I briefly was in Texas for a few months, where I'm originally from, and I linked up with one of my partners in Austin. And I was been telling them, hey, I'm following this Oklahoma thing. You know, they may pass this legislation. Like, we should keep an eye on this. This is some serious stuff. Like, it's right above us. You know, that we could really have a good opportunity merging the brand with cannabis down here. And this is something I've always thought about in the back of my mind, but had never made that move. I'd always been a grower and kind of done my own thing, but never merged the brand with cannabis together. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I had 2 partners down in Austin, and we linked up. We had a lot of meetings, and these guys were you know, something about me, I always want to surround myself by people who are doing bigger stuff than me, because I can learn from them. And when I linked up with these cats in Austin, you know, they had a couple of businesses. They were a little bit more professional, a little bit more polished than I was, and on the business side. And we put it together in Austin. We put together in Oklahoma. And a 4th partner was located in Broken Bow. He had a farm, a 10-acre farm, and a little bit of equipment. And I had some equipment from Seattle that I brought down. And we just started from day one. We got our licenses around September, like, you know, mid-September, as soon as they allowed. And we just hit the ground running from there, 2018.
Dope.
And that's kind of how that.
Damn, that's a trek. You probably know then David Tran, if you're from Seattle.
What company is he with?
He was with Dope Magazine. He's from
okay, Dope. Yeah, that's right. They're up there. I think they got bought out by
they did.
High Times.
Yeah, they did. But he was one back in the day. That's why. And you seem like you're in the culture, so that's why I brought it up. But dude,
yeah, those Hemp Fest.
Yeah, the Hemp Fest. That's what I bring it up. Yeah, that's how he got big, was through the Hemp Fest scene.
Those were huge events, man. It's like the biggest protestful in the country. I think it was 3 days. It's like 3 days, and it's like 80,000 people sometimes, you know, and it's a free event. So everyone comes out.
Yeah. Do you feel those early like cannabis vibes kind of like resurging in Oklahoma right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, when I first came from the West Coast, I had hat pins. We had all kind of heady stuff that you really only see on the West Coast, and no one was really kind of into it here. 3 years onto that, or into this program, yeah, I've started to see it a little bit. You got to understand, like, you know, being in the Midwest and the South, they've never had a legit cannabis culture here. So to answer your question, you kind of had to build that from the ground up. Through like doing events and, you know, quarterly events and things like that, pop-ups, and just kind of extending the brand. But there wasn't not really a culture when we first got here. And I think that's what made Oklahoma pretty unique. Everyone's just kind of creating that organically here.
Yeah, man. Nice. I just feel like JC always says it, and I feel it too, that the Oklahoma consumer just got super educated super quickly, right? And so
very
like
fast.
They're just like looking for like the dopest things. They're looking for quality things, stuff, you know, and pretty much solventless like runs that market right now, which you have live rosin gummies, which is a solventless gummy. Talk to us about like when you like making your products and like what you're thinking about when trying to reach to that Oklahoma market.
So actually, we make live resin gummies.
Sorry,
we haven't done the
bad.
solventless. No, it's okay. Just to correct, because I know people will hear that and think, "Oh man, we got solventless gummies." No, they're it's live resin. It's strains that we curated from our farm that we handpicked that would go best in the gummy process. You could really basically picked on terpenes and the explosion in your mouth, and you know you get the full extent of the live resin. It's a 10-minute onset, very fast. But as far as our edible division goes. Really unique story with that. Last year during the pandemic, the height of it, Chef Brandon Bentley, a chef in Tulsa, award-winning chef, he reached out to us and was like, "Hey man, I love cannabis industry. I want to be involved in this. I'll do whatever I have to do. I want to be involved with Robot Pharmer." And I passed that email along to my partner, and we brought him in an interview, and man, he has just kicked ass ever since. And honestly, his creation and his tech, it's his kitchen, you know, it's his spot, and he really put his touch on the edibles, and it's a lot of love and alchemy into that, and all made by hand, you know. He's done a fabulous job. So he to that with our edibles, we've released a 100 milligram live resin 10-piece pack, a 250 milligram, and a 500 milligram. And then we've done the same with the nerdies. I think you guys saw a video of you tried the nerdy ones, but those are the 250 milligram.
Yeah, that's what my wife hides from me.
I think we actually have tried both, and I don't even think you realized we had them the last time they were there.
You're probably right.
Yeah, because we did try some of the live resin ones, and I got to try the nerd ones, and they're all really good. And JC is right. If when something tastes delicious, Joy, JC's wife, will literally steal it and hide it and never see it again.
There's a lot of R&D tech went into that. So, hats off to the chef. He's done a great job, and it's just been a phenomenal asset to our company since him coming on. So
I got a question. So, the Oklahoma is, speaking to the vibes, right? It's like super hype, it's accessible. It's exciting, right? Oklahoma is exciting. But, right, the regulations also have kind of created a lot of nuances that make business difficult, right? The saturation and stuff like this. Like, how do you go about standing out in a market that's completely saturated, completely, with the regulations make it really difficult to grow? How do you stand out?
No, absolutely. That's a great question. And this market is saturated. I think it's got more dispensaries than, the West Coast combined, maybe something crazy like that. It definitely has more dispensaries than, Starbucks and McDonald's in the state. There's a lot of crazy numbers. To answer your question, once we first got started here, my business partner, Jeff, and I, one of the owners of the company, we hit the ground running. Our first harvest came in like late January, early February of 2019. And we literally got in the car and just humbled ourselves and drove around to every fucking town in the state that we could make it to. And just introduced ourselves, explained the brand, showed off our product. At that time we were doing hydro. We hadn't switched to organic living soil yet. But our flower spoke for itself. We didn't have any other products, just some merch shirts, some merchandise and the flower. And literally we went around as many dispensaries as we could as they got started. I think that really helped us develop long-term business relationships that we still have ongoing today, 3 years later. Nice. Into this program.
No, it's all about relationships, right? It's my favorite part. Like, I think it's interesting that you said, you humbled yourself to do it. For us, it's like I almost feel like I have to do it, right? And it's like I get worried when we don't get to do it. But so I can see why you guys stand out, right? I mean, you said a bunch of stuff there. The living soil, your branding is amazing. I think your guys' experience in Seattle has probably helped you guys a lot too. Given those facts, right? It still doesn't change the fact what you guys are faced with moving forward, right? What is the strategy for you guys to maintain your position in the market over the next couple of years?
Sure. Honestly, if you can make it in Oklahoma right now as saturated as I think you can make it in any market. If you can kind of cut your teeth out here with as much saturation and just driving the price to the bottom of the ground just to get your product sold, we haven't done that as a brand, and I don't think it's something we want to devalue. But a lot of people have done it, and more power to them and stuff. But it's just be very careful of how we move, tightening the belt, and not really overspending on things. And being vertically integrated has helped us in some ways, being shielded from market fluctuations. We can get rid of product in our own dispensaries if that comes down to that, being that our wholesale is still our main thing. But, that helps us a little bit. But market domination, I think it's really hard to dominate the Oklahoma market. My suggestion would maybe branch out into the Midwest, hit up Missouri or look at Arkansas if they get their things sorted out. Maybe even the Texas that goes live anytime. But I think it would be hard to maintain and just stay in Oklahoma for the next 5 years. I mean, obviously remain in Oklahoma and try to branch out into other states in the Midwest. But I think it's very difficult right now unless they cap some of the licenses or they do something to kind of stop the influx. Because now you're starting to see 3 years into this, a lot of the West Coast guys coming out here, friends of mine who wouldn't come out here when it first started, and now it's so lovely, they've made the trek and moved their families and, made big commitments to come out to Oklahoma. So that being said, the Oklahoma consumer isn't, just going to be a pushover. They're going to want, if you've done something on the West Coast or like in California, you're a major breeder or brand, like you've got to prove yourself here. You can't just show up and expect to be, welcomed with open arms. So
right.
That's more from what I've seen, from the stuff that we see. So.
Yeah, I mean, Nevada kind of has that too, where they're kind of like, they don't just welcome everyone, but Oklahoma, right? Like, I mean, it's made in Oklahoma on the bag. People are proud of what's happening in Oklahoma. You keep speaking to your the portion of your business as the wholesale division, right? Let's talk about what that looks like, what your strategy is for your wholesale program, and what kind of reach you guys have with that.
Yeah, so we've been up to, in around 100 shops, not currently 100 shops, at one time right now. We've been up to that. We try to, strategically pick a few dispensaries in each main city. Oklahoma City, we have 3 or 4, probably 3 to 5 that's worked with us for many years. And we've had a pretty good strategy of working with vendors and not going down the street and then beating them up and selling the same thing to the next customer. It's just something that protects us and the vendor with just sitting on product. But as far as some of those business questions, that's more for Jeff, my partner. I'm the creative side of it. I wish he was here. He has a baby to take care of right now. But
That's okay.
yeah, I would say basically, and another strategic thing for us has been really good in the rural areas. And I can't explain that. There's a couple of theories I have on that, but some of the more rural cities have done really well in moving our product, just consistently moving it.
I think that has to play to the brand, right? I think the idea of like the Robot Farmer, like I feel like there's you guys probably have an idea of like not having like what it means, but I also feel like there's so many people that can take it in so many different ways, especially in Oklahoma where it is a big farming state for the most part. That I think it just probably hits home with a lot of people in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we're here, we put in a lot of work, 3 years we built this from scratch, and it's like consistently putting out pretty good flower to better flower and trying to up that, and then putting out new products and then, perfecting those. And, and then you have, like you said, the whole branding aspect behind that. And that's just the whole thing we've been sitting on. We have a trove of artwork to work with. And, my idea was like do some more cartoon type stuff with scientific, kind of like overcoming scientific problems in the grow, using the Robot Farmer as kind of the lead and using a celebrity with each episode. So, I mean, there's a lot of things we can do with it. And then with the robot, each design, they're a little bit different designed, and we can go, in cartoons and backstories per that design. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're kind of playing with.
That's dope, man. And I definitely want to dive into your guys' flower. So, you talk about you're doing living soil right now. And how many strains you got rocking and rolling out of that place?
Oh man, dude, we love pheno hunting. We have a license in Tulsa. We don't really do much growing up here, but I do some pheno hunting. And then on the farms where, the magic really happens, we're probably rocking, 50 to 60 strains. But as far as that, maybe cultivating 8 to 10 at a time per building. I think around 6 or 7 came in yesterday. But we have around 220 lights, and there's 40 lights in each building. So we can it's not just one giant grow. So we can do 4 or 5 strains per building and pull that down. So maybe rock with 20 strains growing and another 40 strains, with moms and things like that, and pheno hunting and playing with different things like that. We really love popping beans. Growing is one of our passions. That's how I started in the business. And then our head grower, Garrett, he's from Oregon, and he's from Texas originally, but been in Oregon on some giant farms. And, it's all about heart and love. And, pheno hunting gives you the best expression of a plant. You can get the nose, you just got to check all the boxes. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes we have some awesome shit that just doesn't make it to market because it doesn't meet all of our expectations, kind of picky when it comes to that.
Right. That's pheno hunting though, right?
Yep. And then when you said living soil, that's a whole other thing that, we teamed up with Robbie from Nerds Genetics. He's actually coming to Oklahoma now, and he hooked us up with some living soil tips, and we redid. So like as one of those buildings would harvest, we would redo it, take the benches out and maybe put some beds in there and just kind of experiment with stuff. So.
Let's talk about that really quick. You
Sure.
mentioned, your flower sticking out as one of your main anchors in your brand, and living soil is one of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of success out there. Let's talk about to some of the listeners, what is living soil for you guys? What is that process?
Sure. So the best that I can explain that, to not to get too scientific with it, it's a process that takes about 6 months to build up. What you're doing is you're adding amendments to the soil. You're basically creating a little biosphere to live for your plants to thrive in. And it just doesn't happen overnight. So, for example, if we set up a living soil room, the first 2 harvests are going to be a little bit small. They're not going to be full weight like you would expect from like a harvest or something like that, hydroponics. That just takes a little bit of patience and time. So it took us around 5 to 6.5 months, I think, for our soil to reach full, appreciation where it's doing all of its things underneath and all of the scientific stuff. And after that, you can really tell the difference in taste and flavor and just the way the bud structure and how it looks and everything. But yeah, it was definitely, you had to exert some patience. Living soil takes time to build up and really get to where you want it to really produce commercially.
So, and it's like the terp show, right? Like it really brings out
Yeah.
the
Oh
terpenes.
man, it's all about terps. Yeah, I'm a hydro guy. I've done hydro and cocoa most of my life, but like switching to living soil, I was kind of convinced. I mean, I saw it like it's all terps, man. And then the flavor profiles are just amazing, what you can get out of there just organically.
Nice.
That's dope. What's your favorite strain right now?
Oh man, my favorite strain that I'm smoking on some midnight runs. That's some funky charms and runs from Exotic Genetics. I hunted that one. Some Gastropop from Compound. We just harvested that. It's grape gasoline and let's see, the Gastro's grape gasoline, apples and bananas.
Nice.
Oh, did we lose you? I think we lost him. I think we lost him. Maybe he'll come back.
Is he coming back, Rick?
Not sure.
Oh.
I'm sure he is. Some of the strains.
What he said?
what
He
was
said
that?
midnight runs.
Midnight runs. That
and
just
then
sounds
and then
like,
something was. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, I guess I cut out a second.
No, you're good. You're good. What was that last train you said?
Oh man, there was the midnight runs was funky charms and runs. There was some we've got some regular runs coming from runs pheno cut or breeder cut. Let's see what else is some fire stuff. We've got some oh man, the guavas is amazing. It's from Bloom Genetics. It smells like just rotten fruit. It smells like a Trop Smoothie Cafe's dumpster with like a homeless dude living. I mean, it's gnarly, So we've grown some symbiotic genetics, but they've got a lot of nice stuff. Man, they got the Purple Punch 2.0. They've got they did the Clementine back in the day, or the mix with the Clementine. Trying to think what else. All kind of shit, man. We grow all kind of strains and for all kind of reasons. I like fruits. Garrett likes gas. So
nice.
I was gonna go to something. So, like with your flower, right? There's the wholesale side of it. Just going back to what JC was talking about a little bit. The idea of selling your flower as in bulk rather than as prepackaged. On the branding side, right? Selling your product as prepackaged is definitely a huge advantage. But people like to smell and look at the weed beforehand. How do you feel about prepackaged flower, and how do you see that kind of going with your brand?
absolutely, man. And we tried it, when we had the packaging done, we've done the prepackaged ACE. Oklahoman patients, they just rejected it. They wanted to be able to smell it. And I don't blame them, They want to be able to have access to the flower and look at it and, check the nose on it and see what it looks like. And that just goes up to like, that just goes back to like, belief in your brand, and like, do they really respect the brand? And we're so new, we were only into it for about a year, and they just hadn't had that, hadn't been with us that long, to understand and believe in that. But yeah, I like prepackaged, but I just think that it depends. If you're in a brand new market, they're going to want to check you out and verify you and make sure you're legit and really, before they love that brand and just trust you enough to buy it without, just buy it on site and seeing. Now, Washington, that was the rule. So like most of my branding and like my background from taking off of that was you can't open it, you can't smell it, you can't touch it. You just have to buy it as is, But here that just doesn't work unless they make that a rule for rec, which I would assume that'd be a federal national rule or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. So all right. So you got the flower, you got the nerdy gummies, right? By the way, it's a live resin. Tasty gummy, and it's got nerds all over
and the regular gummies too.
And the regular gummies too. What other products are you guys producing?
Yeah, and those gummies are nano emulsified, so the onset's like 10-minute onset, and we're trying to get that down to a couple minutes. But 10, I mean, that hits you just quick like that. We also make a live elixir. It's 100 milligram nano emulsified strawberry lemonade drink. It's kind of like an additive if you drink bubbly water, or if you want to put it in a Sprite or something like Gatorade. It's 100 milligrams of straight live resin, and it will knock you down. So I mean, I'm good for about a half a bottle. 50 milligrams is enough for me. 100 would put you out for sure. It depends what your tolerance is, So we have that, and then we have a regular cart that we made. It's a little bit of distillate, it's a little bit of CBD, and then we have natural terps from our farm. That's one of our lower end carts. And then we have a live resin cart as well, where it's just straight live resin from our farm, hand curated strains. And then we just process that into a cart. And that's with our roaches as well. Yeah.
Nice, man.
And then we've done concentrates. We stopped doing them for a little bit. We just got a new, I guess you could say a new blasting box or whatever. So that's being set up on the farm. So we'll start making concentrates again. We made pretty decent BHO. We made a little bit of rosin. We have all the equipment to do it. We just haven't, put the, haven't done full force with it yet.
Nice. What was I gonna say? Do you guys do any processing for other brands in the market?
We don't, honestly. Our farm is located in Broken Bow, and then our headquarters is kind of in Tulsa, where a wholesale is out of. So it's just kind of too difficult to get it down there all the way to Southeast Oklahoma, and we just really don't have enough capacity to take care of ourselves barely.
Got it. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I should explain earlier. I was saying we have indoor buildings, but we have outdoor grows as well. So we have a couple of greenhouses, like 30 by 90s, that we use. That gets into a process for our live resin edibles.
Nice.
So if you're wondering where that came from, it comes from the greenhouse.
Cool. I got one more question. You got any?
No.
You got any? So, all right. So, maybe it's a couple questions. Maybe it's just one. I don't know. So sometimes I like to wrap up several questions in one. Throw people for a loop.
Yeah.
So bear with me. What's it look like the next 3 or 5 years for Robot Pharmer? And then what do you guys think is going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years in Oklahoma, moving forward as it comes to recreational?
All right, let me answer the Oklahoma question first. Well, in their charter, the state question 788, it does mention they want to be a net exporter from Oklahoma, and I think they're really smart about that when they wrote the legislation, being that it's in the Midwest of the country, the land's really cheap. You're actually beating most of the West Coast deliveries to the East Coast by 2 days. So strategically, it's a great place to be. I mean, even if you were to start nursery or if you're going to start mass producing flower, you would want to do it here. You can go anywhere from the Midwest, east or west or up. I do think that, I do know that Oklahoma Medical is the only one that's had a meeting with the Commerce Secretary, I believe. That was under Trump, I want to say. It could have been earlier this year. I think it was last year, though. And, they're wanting to get minutes like in the meetings and do this whole national thing. I know the Oregon governor was kind of on board about it, but I think Oklahoma really wants to export that out of the state. So I see that as a great benefit to, anyone who's established here. If you want to do, whether from clones, like I said, or to wholesale flower, you probably export that to your neighbors, Louisiana, Arkansas, most likely Texas when that goes online. I would assume that they're not going to do grows. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but there's a lot of toss up with Texas right now.
That's interesting. Oklahoma being the national hub for cannabis.
The distribution hub, bro.
It's just crazy.
They already have enough grows, dude. To supply the country.
But if you go there, it makes sense, right? I mean, it's beautiful weather. The soil is great, right? The people are great.
Weed stays moist.
And then all the points that you mentioned. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Now, to answer your question.
Go ahead. Go number 2.
In 5 years, I'd like to do, the brand has international appeal. I set it up like that. I would love to do, put the robot and regalia of, Germany, colors, Holland, Spain, Jamaica, Uruguay, and go international with it and just basically set up franchises over there or set up, whatever we need to do as far as getting the brand and the character accepted over in those countries. But I think international, I'd like to do some cartoons. I like the vinyls, the NFTs. We've been researching this metaverse stuff and it's super confusing and there's a lot to it, but maybe there's something to that, in the short term, near long term future. There's a lot of things for Robot Pharmer, expanding the grows, I think is we would probably expand our nursery before we expand our grow and start working on stuff like that. And then expanding the brand as well at the same time.
Nice. I love that. This is like big plans, big vision. I love that. Sometimes I'll ask that question. People are like, oh, I don't know. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah. But I think you guys have a great future based on your great plans and then the amazing products that you guys are making. Thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Let's send everybody out of here. Where can they find you? Tell us where they can find you online.
Sure. We have the website, robotpharmer.com. We have the Instagram, the Robot Pharmer, Pharmer, and we're shadow banned. So just type the whole thing out. I guarantee you'll find us. We have a Discord, Robot Pharmer on Discord. And if you're trying to find our products for wholesale, we're on LeafLink. And you can look at us Leafly if you're just a customer trying to figure out what we have and our products that are available if you're a patient.
Nice.
Dope.
Thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice. Hey, man, you're not legit if you're not shadow banned, bro.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I mean, you're not really in the cannabis
You ain't
industry.
really doing it if
You
you
ain't
ain't
really doing
shadow
it because you're shadow banned.
And so I think so are you.
My shadow ban may have been lifted.
Oh yeah, but I'm definitely shadow banned right now.
I've stopped using cannabis hashtags altogether. It's really sad.
Oh, that's
really sad.
Maybe that's what I should stop doing.
Yeah, maybe. You know, because I did an audit on an MSO's Instagram last week. You helped me do it, but what I found in there, I just started hitting all their hashtags.
Yeah.
MJ patient
Yeah, it's
is
all
medical marijuana,
restricted.
bud tender, restricted.
All these crazy ass ones.
It's the ones that you
But
think.
You know what's crazy though is that like sometimes they forget like niche areas. So like sometimes like there's like some Tulsa cannabis ones that are still active and shit like that.
Yeah, it's funny.
I probably should start doing an audit of my hashtags. Maybe. But shout out Robot Pharmer, man. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get you. I didn't even realize they had such a wide variety of live soil flowers. So you have to go try that.
Yeah, I definitely want to go try the flower.
In Tulsa. And check out one of their stores too. I think we didn't get to ask them about the dispensary side.
Yeah, we did.
But we'll bring him back on the podcast and talk more about the dispensary and maybe go talk with him about getting some culture and cannabis in there.
I mean,
shoot some content.
Right? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. What else is going on? What
we were supposed to do some pop-ups this weekend, but it didn't work out.
That's okay.
But
that's okay.
But I talked to Chuck today.
I did a pop up this weekend.
Oh, you did. You went to two pop-ups. You had one actually. You went to Nevada Made Marijuana, the new store. We posted a video about it. Very cool.
And I think we're going to post another video about it. We're going to do a collab with you tomorrow. That's going to drop tomorrow.
Oh, we haven't dropped that video yet.
We haven't dropped that video.
We're going to drop a new video about that place.
Yeah, because that place is incredible. I mean,
it's sick.
Can I simplify it? It's basically the super cannabis store of Henderson.
It's massive.
It's massive.
And I shouldn't say that.
What?
I heard there has some cool things that are going to also be added to it. I don't want to say it because I was told not to say it.
I love that location because it's one of the only locations when we announced our products being over there. It was like 10 people are like, hey, it's right across the street from my house.
Yeah, it was
right
exciting. Very exciting.
Where is it? St. Rose and Pecos?
No, St. Rose and I forget the other name, but it's on St. Rose. It's like right down the street from the M.
Yes, right down.
It's a really nice location, and
dude, February, it's official.
Oh,
is it official?
Well, I mean,
let's wait till next week because we haven't signed the contract.
We haven't signed any. None of the contracts have been signed. I feel like we have so much stuff that we just we have some upcoming licensing deals that'll be dropping here pretty soon with some new brands, some new grow facilities here in Nevada, which we're really excited about. We have some new products that are coming online that we're in the process of R&Ding right now. From concentrates to cartridges to gummies to literally all. So,
you're going to see a completely new culture and cannabis brand in 2022 in terms of products. 2022
is going to be the year of the product for culture and cannabis. Like that's when we're going to start dropping products left and right. So I'm really excited about that because it's going to be so sick to have a full lineup of products. The culture and cannabis website is getting revamped. Not this website, but the shop is getting revamped. We're going to be adding some more products to that here pretty soon, getting that thing rocking and rolling. We got, I'm not going to lie to you guys, we got burned on one of our printing people, and so we had to go and find a new printing setup, and now here we are, we found it, and we got some local people, we got some overseas people, we got some online people, so it's going to be great. I'm really pumped actually about all the dope-ass merch that we're going to be dropping soon.
Yeah, because, I mean, for like the last several years, you could go to the Culture and Cannabis website, and it's legit just a plethora of free content, right? It's just whatever you want, right? It's free. Podcasts, articles, event videos, all this stuff is free. But now we're kind of, turning it into this, this commerce store, right? Where you can go there and get clothes, you can get accessories, ancillary items, some CBD products will be dropping up there soon. So a lot of things that you can, buy that you value.
2022 is shaping up to be an interesting year, and we only have one more podcast until the end of the year. Wait, actually, two more podcasts. Yeah. I won't be here next week though, because I'll be in Reno. But I'll remote in. Do we have any? Do you schedule one for next week yet?
Mm-mm.
That's supposed to be our Christmas show. Maybe we can do it. Maybe you could bring Jordan on the podcast next week.
That'd be nice.
And then me and Chuck can live stream from Reno.
Okay.
All right, that's what you want to do. Maybe if you didn't actually schedule anybody, we should definitely do that.
Okay.
I think that's it, though.
That's it.
Thanks for watching the Culture and Cannabis podcast. We'll see y'all next Thursday. Peace.